Hey everyone, Aniibaldd here. Today, I'll dive into what I consider to be one of the best written anime fights ever, the epic duel between Netero and Meruem from HunterXHunter by Yoshihiro Togashi. If you've ever felt unsure about why this fight is so acclaimed, stick around. My observations might change your perspective. I'll start with a brief introduction to the arc, then introduce the characters, break down the fight, and share some insights on AI, human intuition, and rhythm in battles. In the Chimera Ant arc, there's this threat caused by the presence of Chimera Ant. Chimera Ant queens reproduce through phagogenesis, consuming other creatures to impart their characteristics onto the next generation of Chimera Ants they give birth to. But here, a mutant Chimera Ant queen human-sized made her apparition. Being a giant Chimera Ant, this gave birth to human-sized monsters with mutant-like appearance, being an amalgam of animals consumed by the queen. Things took a darker turn when she started consuming humans, and it quickly became her favorite food. The priority of the queen is to give birth to the king. Her appetite increases while she's conceiving the king, as she's focusing 100% of her attention to this task with the goal to create the world conqueror. While in the womb, the king Meruem decided he was ready and forced himself out of the womb, which badly injured the queen. With no regard for his mother's condition, he left her behind, accompanied by his royal guards. In their wake, countless humans were killed as they began their conquest of a small country. He eventually established himself in the royal palace of the Republic of East Gorto. A plan was devised by the humans to take care of the threat with the help of hunters. They are elite individuals who have passed the rigorous hunter exam, granting them access to special privileges and resources to help them reach their goal, whether it be treasure hunting, bounty hunting, or exploring unknown territories. Trained to endure the harshest conditions and confront the most formidable adversaries, they possess extraordinary strength, agility, and reflexes. These attributes are complemented by their strategic minds and unwavering determination, allowing them to tackle complex challenges and unravel intricate mysteries. Among them was the chairman of the Hunter Association himself, Isaac Netero. There is three characters that are important for that fight: Meruem the Ant King, Netero the Hunter Association chairman, and Komugi the World Gungi champion. Once the territory was conquered, Meruem started challenging humans in strategy board game. So after learning about a game by reading one book about it, he would challenge the best human in that game. He easily beat the chess, shogi, and go champion. He mentioned that during the games, he would discern the opponent's rhythm and deliberately disturb it. Per rhythm, we have this ChatGPT explanation that I think explain it clearly what it is with an example in checkers. In checkers, rhythm refers to the pace and pattern of moves made by players throughout the game. Players strive to establish a rhythm by making moves that maintain or disrupt their opponent's plans while advancing their own strategy. Effective rhythm involves balancing offensive and defensive maneuvers, adapting to changing board positions, and anticipating opponents' responses. It's about creating pressure, seizing opportunities, and controlling the tempo of the game to gain an advantage. Successful players often exhibit a smooth and consistent rhythm characterized by strategic consistency and adaptability to the evolving dynamics of the game. I found this definition of rhythm adequate to add to the explanation of the depth of the battle of Meruem versus Netero. Things changed for the king when he met Komugi, the Gungi champion who was the next challenger of the king. Komugi, the World Gungi champion, is a blind, clumsy girl that was brought to the royal palace on the king's demand so he could challenge the champion. Gungi is a game that has more options than the other strategy board game. For no specific reason, when she plays, she opens her eyes, and the king noticed that the vibe she would give off changed. He was never able to beat her, as she seemed to not even go at 100% of her capabilities. A particular relationship develops between them as they would play back-to-back games. While the king was learning at an incredible rate, so was Komugi, and she kept winning every game. She even awakened, without knowing it, her Nen ability, which would make her find new moves for the game, a real genius. The chairman of the Hunter Association, Isaac Netero, was one of the hunters deployed to eradicate the Chimera ant. He was hailed as the most powerful Nen user. He was still a dangerous being even in his old age. Netero, at 46, believed he had reached his physical peak and went to the mountains, vowing to show gratitude to martial arts. He performed a set of 10,000 punches and prayers daily. By the age of 50, he could finish the daily ritual in under an hour, allowing him to spend the extra time in prayer, ultimately leading him to enlightenment. Netero summons a multi-armed Nen being resembling a gigantic statue of Guanyin behind himself. To execute an attack, he clasps his hands together in a fluid motion as if in prayer. The arms on the statue strike down upon his target, in coordination with Netero's hand motion, a procedure he repeats before every attack. Thanks to Netero's incredible speed, the entire process can be carried out in far less than 0.1 seconds, up to thousands of times per minute. I have learned while doing research for the video that apparently this is a reference to one of Bruce Lee's quote, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." It emphasizes the importance of mastering a single technique through dedicated practice over a wide variety of techniques practiced only superficially. During the fight, it is explained that Meruem found out Netero's rhythm and was able, after a long and tedious attempt, to injure him and predict his next move. It is said that Netero had nearly infinite striking patterns, but the term infinite feels too broad and abstract. The sheer number of possibilities is beyond our full comprehension. While we can manipulate the idea of infinity with mathematics, in this context, it remains an overwhelmingly vast concept. Therefore, I've decided to put a cap on Netero's possible striking combinations to better visualize what happened. To do this, I will assign arbitrary numbers to Cannon's possible arm positions to estimate how many combinations Meruem had to process during the fight. 100-type Cannon Bodhisattva has 22 arms. Each arm has a hand that can be in two states thanks to the fingers, palm, or fist. Each hand can take 4 positions by flexing the wrist alongside one axe. Each forearm can take 4 positions by flexing the elbow. Each forearms can take 4 other positions by twisting. Each arms can take 4 positions by twisting at the shoulder level. Each arms can be at 21 positions by moving the shoulder alongside 2 axes. By multiplying the total number of positions taken for each section, we have 10,752. This is the total number of position for 1 arms that we will consider. So for 22 arms, Cannon has 10,752 raised to the power of 22 striking positions possible. 49 octovigintillion, it's a number with 89 digits. So figuring out the exact next strike among all those possibilities is nearly unthinkable. We have to recognize that Netero had surely not explored all of these possible combinations. Meruem's strategy was to push Netero to reveal a new move after numerous hitting iterations from different angles. Through this, Meruem's intention was to discover Netero rhythm, persuaded that everyone has an unconscious bias for and against certain patterns. Once the pattern was found, Meruem was able to predict Netero attacks, so we can see how Meruem was a phenomenon with this ability to process that much information while he was actively moving around. At each iteration, he had to consider no less than 49 octovigintillion possible striking patterns. This extraordinary cognitive power could have made Meruem a formidable and frightening conqueror. Today, we have powerful programs capable of beating champions in strategic board games like checkers, Go, and shogi. These programs utilize advanced algorithms and machine learning techniques to analyze vast numbers of possible moves and outcomes. Through extensive training and self-play, they develop strategies that surpass human intuition and expertise. Deep learning models, such as neural networks, enable these programs to recognize patterns, anticipate opponent moves, and make optimal decisions in complex game situations. The success of these programs demonstrates the remarkable progress of artificial intelligence in mastering challenging intellectual tasks and highlights the potential for AI to excel in a wide range of strategic domains. The game of Go is an exponentially complex game characterized by an enormous number of possible combinations. The sheer magnitude of potential board positions makes Go one of the most challenging games for both human players and artificial intelligence to master. Google's DeepMind program AlphaGo beat the game of Go through a combination of advanced algorithms, deep learning techniques, and extensive training. This dynamic mirrors what happened between Meruem and Komugi as they constantly played against each other, pushing one another to unveil new strategies. Meruem absorbed these best practices and utilized them in his battle against Netero. This is similar to Lee Sedol's legendary duel against AlphaGo, where each game pushed the boundaries of strategy and skill. The notion of rhythm is used in other manga works too. Take Tengen from Kimetsu no Yaiba, also known as Demon Slayer. When he makes his comeback during the fight against Gyutaro, he uses his musical score technique. According to the Kimetsu no Yaiba wiki, it involves Tengen reading his opponent's movements and deconstructing them into sound by analyzing the rhythm of their movements, reading them like sheet music to the point where every fight becomes like a song. This allows Tengen to gain an understanding of his opponent's habits and tactics, as well as their blind spots, giving him the edge against them. While it takes a long time for Tengen to construct the score, once completed, Tengen was able to fight Gyutaro on even terms despite having lost his left hand. It becomes clear that Meruem's repeated challenges and losses against Komugi were crucial. These experiences sharpened his ability to find an opponent's rhythm, as Shayapuf had mentioned during a brief exchange about this approach, a psychological principle that would apply to any contest. This concept parallels how AI is trained. Like Meruem, AI systems undergo countless iterations and learning phases to master complex tasks. It's fascinating to compare Meruem's growth to how AI improves through continuous learning and adaptation. While AI is designed to emulate aspects of human cognition and decision-making, it's built on principles that reflect our understanding of human intuition. Just as Lee Sedol showed extraordinary perception in his matches against AlphaGo, Meruem demonstrated profound cognitive abilities in navigating infinite possibilities during his fight with Netero. If you have any insights or observations, please share them in the comments. I'm eager to hear your thoughts and perhaps uncover even more layers to this incredible fight. With that being said, please do the YouTube ritual. See you in the next video.
人間の底すらない進化を